Happy New Year everyone and welcome back to Nail Art by Nessa. I am Vanessa and of course call me Nessa. In this video I'm going to share with you my first look for 2021 and it is a 9D cat eye look with stamping. Before I can start the look I do have to prep my nails. So the first thing I did is I took my e-file and I took off all of the old polish. You will notice that I still have the old polish on my right hand as I'm working on my left hand. This is just because as I take off the polish and before I do the fill, they are a lot weaker and I don't want to have to go back and do any extra repairs. So this way I'm kind of protecting my right hand from damage. Once all the polish is removed, I go through and push back my cuticles and do a little trim and then buff the natural nail. After I've done that, I go through and assess the nail and just see if there's any damages. And here I nicked my nail accidentally with my e-file, so when I'm putting my builder on, I will spend a little extra time on that spot to repair it. Then I just wipe my nail with alcohol and now I'm going in with a dehydrator and a primer just on the natural nail. I don't need to go over the builder gel. And then after I've done that, I do go over it with a base coat just over the natural nail again and set that in the UV light. Once the base is set, I can now go in with the builder gel and rebuild my apex and do the fill. So just a reminder, this is my second fill and my third set with extensions. So I still have a lot to learn and am no expert, but what I am attempting to do is I apply a blob of gel at the apex of the nail and then I'm trying to sort of spread it out in a nice even way, but the idea is you want the majority of your gel to be at the apex. You want to have a nice smooth line going down to your cuticle, but you don't want any thickness at your cuticle. And then once again, we do not need to build any thickness at the tip of the nail either. So I'm just sort of pulling it out over the tip so that I get a nice smooth line. And I'm making sure that the side walls of my nails do have some builder gel but are not too thick, and I'm just repairing that little gap that I had from the damage that I did. Once I am happy with that, I usually turn my finger upside down as this is a self-leveling product and that does help to build the apex. Once I'm happy with that, I set it in the light and then I can wipe it off with a little bit of alcohol just to get off that excess residue, and then I go through and sand it down to my desired shape. And now I can repeat the process on all the nails. So this is actually the next day. Because it took me so long to do all of my nails, I just waited to finish them the next day. So because of that, I went through and buffed the surface of the nails again and just wiped it with a little acetone to remove any oils from the surface of the nail. Now I am finally ready for a color coat. This one is Night by Born Pretty. It is just a black gel polish. And I'm going to go through on all of my nails and do 2 coats of black gel polish as my base color for all of my nails and setting each layer in the light. Once I complete 2 layers of black on every nail, I am ready for my 9D cat eye gels. So the first one is Extraordinary Belgium and the second one is Rainy Luxembourg. So Extraordinary Belgium is more of a dark blue with purple flecks and Rainy Luxembourg is more green with purple and gold. I decided to go with Rainy Luxembourg on my middle and ring finger and Extraordinary Belgium on my thumb, index and pinky fingers. Before you start painting it on your nails, you do want to give it a nice little stir to make sure those magnetic particles haven't settled to the bottom. As I'm stirring it, you can kind of see those purple flecks in there, but it's really hard to film all the color shift in it. It is really quite beautiful, magical, but it's definitely a lot more beautiful in person. So now I'm just going to go in and paint my thumbnail. With this, I heard a lot of people say a little goes a long way, but I found you do want a decent layer on there. You don't want to cake it on, you don't want a thick layer, but you do want a decent layer on your nail. Otherwise, I found you didn't really see the particles too much. So now I'm just using my magnet to push all those magnetic particles to the surface and more to the center. And I did play with this for quite a while to get it the way I wanted to. Some nails I just found were easier. I think it had to do with the angle I was seeing the nail, but also this was my first time doing this. So there's always a learning curve. I definitely recommend that if you're trying it, just keep playing with it. When it doesn't go your way, just re-swipe the surface of the nail. You don't need to add any more product. That's the nice thing about using gel products, is that you can keep playing with it until you're happy. And once you're happy, you can just set it in the light and it stays exactly how you want it. So now I just go through and do this on every nail. You will see on my pinky nail, I did have a hard time. I actually had a really hard time on my thumbnail as well, but on the pinky, I do show you this. And I'm just showing you here that because I've been playing with my other nails, I did get a little bit of debris on my nail, so I just wiped it with a little bit of alcohol. Not a big deal. Like I said, I really struggled with my pinky finger. Partly this had to do with the angle I was working at, the lighting, but it's also just a learning curve. So if you're having a hard time, just keep playing, you'll get it. Now I'm moving on to my middle and ring finger, and this is the Rainy Luxembourg, and look how beautiful it is when I mix it. This color really was amazing to work with. It looks like some kind of magical liquid because it shines every color. It's like purple, green, blue, aqua. The only way that you can really see these colors though is in real life. On the camera you can see hints of it, but that's about it. It's really spectacular in real life. Once I've finished all my nails and setting them in the light, I am finally ready for my stamping, and I decided on some star patterns. So my first plate was PICT YOU J028, and my second plate is my Mezerdoo plate that I just opened in my last haul video, C47. And because I've never used these plates before, I do have to remove the blue plastic film. Next, I just grabbed my Born Pretty black stamping polish, and I choose this pattern for my index finger. I'm just going to apply a little bit of the polish, scrape it off, and then I pick up my cube stamper. This one is from Beauty Big Bang, and I just stamp it onto my nail. Once I've done that, I go in with a top coat, and I do my top coat before I clean up. This way I can put my top coat on, seal it. It is all sealed with the top coat, and I can just go ahead and use a wipe with acetone and just wipe straight over the nail. I don't have to worry about smudging my design because it has been sealed in the top coat. Now when you do this, just make sure that you have completely sealed your design in top coat. You don't want any little spots that you've missed, otherwise you will wipe your design off those areas. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do this on every nail. Okay, so I finish up my thumbnail with a top coat and then do a little cleanup, and then I decide to go in with these gems. So I take my stuck drill glue and I take a pretty big glob and put it at the base of my nail. Now this is not how you want to use this product. After doing this, I could tell that it just didn't look very good. So I did a little bit more research, and you are supposed to just spread a thin layer. So do not copy what I did here. Just spread a thin layer and then add your gems. So I went in with these gems, and these are gems that I got in my last haul video, and they matched really well, but they almost matched too well and blended into the nail almost too much, and they kind of disappear. But anyways, I put them on anyways, and I went ahead and added these little caviar beads around the gems to make them look like a setting. And these are black caviar beads. They are from the Martha Stewart collection for crafting. So I actually got them from the crafting section at Michael's, and I got quite a few colors in the container. So it is a pretty good bang for your buck. I will never run out of these caviar beads. So once I was finally happy with the positioning of all of the stones, I go ahead and set that in the UV light, and then I go around it once again with the top coat and set that in the UV light. Now I'm going to go ahead and actually show you a little bit of me working on my right hand. I typically don't do this just because it's very awkward for me. I'm very right-handed, so to be working with my left hand on camera just feels super awkward. But this is a video about the 9D cat eye gel polishes, and I thought I should show you a little bit more just because by the time I made it over to my right hand, I had figured out how to use the magnet a little bit better, and I got a better effect. So I really wanted to share that with you. And then on top of that, I did decide to go with different stamping than I did on my left hand. Normally I wouldn't do this. Normally I would keep the same stamping on both hands just to keep it very cohesive. But because of the 9D effect, it kind of disappears because it's black stamping on top. When I move my nail from certain angles, you don't see the stamping at all. So I felt like it didn't really matter. Plus, to be honest, I'm the only one really looking at my nails unless you watch my video. I live alone, and unless I go to the grocery store, nobody sees my nails. So I felt like it really didn't matter, and I just chose to do as many images on my nails as possible. So at the end of the video, let me know which image you like the best, which nail you like the best. But meanwhile, just sit back and enjoy, and I'll meet you at the end with my last looks. Okay, so here is my final look. I feel like they turned out really well, but I just wish that you could see what I see in real life. They look a lot more spectacular. I am going to try different lighting settings. So here's a different setting, though it basically looks the same. Now in this lighting you can see a little bit of the purple shining through, and they look very silver and kind of more of a light blue on my index and pinky. But now I've turned off the lights completely, and you can see they look very purple, and the middle nails almost look like a raspberry color. Now I'm going to take you over to my entrance area, and you can see the lighting is completely different. So my nails look like a cobalt blue and almost a forest green in those middle ones that shine into a little bit of a purple. And now I'm just going to switch hands with my camera, just standing in the same spot, and you can see that these nails look completely different. They almost look like a teal color and shifting to black. So let me know, which design do you like the best? Have you ever tried these products, and are you going to try them? I definitely recommend these products, especially the rainy Luxembourg. I wish that you could see what I see in real life because it really is spectacular. And for the price point, these are amazing products. I only paid $3 a little tub for these. So try it yourself and let me know what you think. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know every time I post a video, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.